I like it. I don't have to talk loud. They complained about that 2 days ago. Okay, what do you got?
What have you seen in studying Connor Halliday on film?
Yeah, really a great game the other night. Played really well, really accurate. Very poised in the pocket. Didn't let the rush get to him. Kept his eyes downfield. I thought he played really well. And also last year, he had some great games last year too.
How do you feel like you guys are doing? I heard that there was a lot of work inside the walls there on defending just obviously the passes, and things have been going really quick with your secondary.
Well, I think that anytime you look at this game and a quarterback like this and an offense like this, they're going to throw the ball a lot. And they've done a great job of it over the years. They did it the other night down in a hostile environment, so we're going to have to play the pass really well.
Do you think you guys are on your way to that?
I hope so.
With inexperienced guys at corner, how big is it for the front seven to continue to get pressure on the quarterback?
Well, it always is, no matter what game, but especially this type of game. Because of the amount of passing and trying to get after the quarterback, we're going to have to play really well up there with our front because we're going to have to leave a lot of guys deep in order to cover these guys.
You have to get into some kind of a guessing game where I guess every one of their runs is an audible. You have to kind of try to figure that out, what his tendencies are.
Well, I think, I don't think it's a secret. I think that at the line of scrimmage, versus certain looks, they try to get the runs for their advantage. They're not real multiple in the looks they give you. They just do them really well. And he's done it for years, and they run the same plays over and over, and they do them really well.
Looked like today you guys just went in tennis shoes, no helmets. Is that for any particular reason, and will that be continuing on Thursdays through the season?
Every week, every day we're looking at our team and where they're at, and our team, after yesterday was really tired. And I think that the price we've paid with the numbers where they're at, because of the facts where they're at, plus the injuries, I think has taken a toll on our frontline guys because they've taken so many reps over the course of camp and then over the course of this week. So I think that obviously as a head coach you want your team to be fresh, and the last thing you want to do is run them into the ground knowing that they're going to play a lot of plays, especially our defense probably is going to play a lot of plays Saturday night.
Given that, have you second-guessed at all tackling during fall camp and doing that, or did you feel that this was necessary even with the injuries that happened?
Well, I think once you make a decision, you can't second-guess it. You got to go forward with it and look at the positives. And so I look at it as, I think we ran the ball well the other day, and I think we stopped the run well the other day, and I think that was a product of being physical up front during camp.
You mentioned being tired, but how'd you like the way that your team just came out and practiced this week, attitude and on the field?
They were great. They're excited to be back home. That's an interesting trip, when you go on it last week. And so they're back and they're in their normal schedule. They got class and staying in their own place and getting ready to play.
Is the NFL season starting? Do you hear much from the guys that have gone out? Have you been in contact with any of the guys from the last 3 seasons that check in with you or anything?
Yeah, once in a while you'll get a text because they'll watch a game. That game was late for a lot of them. Matt texted me after watching a game, but yeah, a lot of the guys they'll usually text a lot of times before a game, good luck, or afterwards when they're after they watched it.
You were talking yesterday about how the nickel is really the base defense at this point in the Pac-12. For you guys with that 2-4-5 alignment, would you be able to? Would you feel as comfortable sitting in nickel if you didn't have two linemen like George and Leonard who could be that
figure out that
disruptive?
2-4-5. That was the first time I've heard that. Okay. I didn't know we played that, but I guess that makes sense. So 2-4-5. No, I lost track of the whole thing.
Okay, well, tell me what it is then, and then
okay.
How much does it of an impact does Williams and Yuko allow you to sit more in that defense if you didn't have two guys that disruptive?
Yeah, I think when you look at what we do in our nickel package, I would just really look at it as a 4-2-5 defense. There's 4 down linemen in it. We're not on the nose anymore like the 3-4 that we play as much in base personnel. Then you do have the 2 inside backers that stay in the game in Hayes and Lamar, and then Deion's really the nickel player, counts as a DB. So anytime that you have really good defensive tackles in a 4-man front, which is what our nickel is, it's a great thing to have, because those guys are the closest guys to the quarterback that can disrupt them.
If you were to switch guys, positions like have safeties, play at corners, what's the biggest challenge for those guys trying to make that transition?
Well, I think anytime you go out and play man, as safeties you don't play a lot of man, and when you do it's in slots and you help and you know where your help is. You get out there on an island, it's a different world out there and different speed. So I think that's usually the hardest part of the transition.
I know you don't want to get into whether he's going to play or not, but if Morgan Breslin were to play, when he's in your lineup, how does it change things for you guys at all? Not so much in terms of scheme, but in terms of what you're capable of doing.
I don't know that we know that necessarily yet, just because we haven't played with him in this scheme in a real game. So hopefully he'll be able to play. He was obviously doing really well before he got hurt. So whenever he gets back, I'm sure he'll fit in well.
With Silas possibly returning, how could that change the running game?
I don't know that it would change much. We ran more times the other night than we had in 3 years here. So I think that was a product of the way the game was going and how we felt our defense was playing during that game. And so that's a great thing to have. And so hopefully we'll have that again Saturday night.
Let's do one more.
Any different sense of the offense this week, kind of having one quarterback taking most of the reps at the ones?
No, I don't think that there's any sense of difference, and both guys have been taking reps in there.